So going to give you the demo here. I've brought in what is just a simple router, and one of the first things I like to do once I've got the image in is just expand the canvas a little bit, because sometimes if the border is too close, that causes a problem. So bringing up the canvas size, and just going to make it 550 by 500, let it expand to white, and now I got a little more breathing room in there. Next thing is we're going to try and make a selection here of just the object with the right tool. It's always helpful, but this guy, this guy here, the quick selection tool, once you've selected that, you can actually just click on select subject, and that'll do a pretty good job, in this case a very good job, of selecting the object. It looks like it's missing a little bit up there. I'm just going to drop down my brush size here so that I can add to it by holding the shift key down, or making sure that this is the plus sign. If you're on this one, you can click on this guy, one or the other, to get that to go in and get the rest of that. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Then we click on select and mask, and it brings up this window. Clicking on the radius, that can increase the width that it's looking at on that selection. You can see some weird stuff starting to happen there. That means I've taken it too far. Bring it back down, maybe just a pixel or two, because this is a pretty small image. You can see that it's still picking up a little bit in the corners there. So if that happens, you can just try with the smooth to help gloss it out, and click OK. And then you want to do a separation. You want to float that layer away from that background. So on a Mac, you say Command J, and that gives you that separate layer. If I hide these layers, you'll see that it's a nice floating transparent layer. The next step is, if you still want that drop shadow that's in there, this is the little trickier one. Make sure you're on that layer that includes that drop shadow, and go to Channel, and you're going to Command click on RGB. That creates a selection based on the values in the image itself. Then you want to select the inverse. That's Command Shift I on a Mac. Up here it would be select inverse up there. Once you got that, go back to your layers, create a new layer. I'm just going to hide that layer that we had. And with this one, you want to make sure your foreground color is black. And I click Shift Delete, which is fill. Don't remember where it is up here. It's probably under Edit. Yeah, fill is right there. But yeah, you want it to be foreground color 100% normal, and that brings in that shadow layer. Now it looks like you brought in the whole thing, but once you reveal that other floating layer and deselect, you now have a nice drop shadow. That's exactly the same as the original, but it is transparent, so it's going to allow any background to bleed through on your piece there. So once I have these two layers in here set up, this is the actual image layer, and then this is the shadow layer. I'll just go ahead and delete those other ones, and you can save it as a Photoshop or as a PNG, and that's it.